All right, today we're pulling back the curtain and getting into the real, battle-tested secrets for getting the most out of your Microsoft 365 environment. We're going to walk through the exact same things a pro looks for when they're auditing a setup so you can see where you might be burning cash, where you're exposed, and, most importantly, what to fix first. Let's dive in.
Look, I know this might sound a little blunt, but it's a pattern you see over and over again. So many companies are paying top dollar for those premium E3 or A5 licenses, but what are their teams actually using? Outlook, Word, and Teams. The basics. It's just a massive missed opportunity, and we're going to start changing that right now.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We've broken this health check into 4 key parts. First, we'll stop burning money. Then we're going to lock down your environment and get your security sorted. After that, it's all about reclaiming your team's time, and finally, we'll talk about how to go from total chaos to crystal clarity.
Part 1. Stop burning money. We have to start here, because it's usually the most immediate and, let's be honest, uncomfortable pain point for any business, those licensing costs.
So, let me ask you this. Are you paying for shelfware? You know, all those high-end advanced software features that are just sitting on a digital shelf, collecting dust, completely unused by your teams? It happens way more often than you'd think. So here's your immediate action plan. It's a really simple 3-step audit. First, jump into your admin center and pull both your license assignment and your usage reports. You need both. Second, hunt for those over-licensed users. Are the folks with E5 licenses actually using any of the advanced security stuff? Be honest. And third, to make this all stick, switch to group-based licensing in Entra ID. That's Microsoft's identity tool. This basically automates the whole process so people get the right licenses for their job without you having to click around and assign them one by one. The rule of thumb is pretty simple. If you're paying that E5 price, but nobody in the room can tell you which E5 features you're actively using, you are burning money. Period. Before you just upgrade everybody, figure out what you actually need. It's often way cheaper to stick with a lower-tier license and just buy the specific features you need. Microsoft calls them SKUs, as add-ons.
Okay, once you've optimized your spending, the next critical step is to lock down your environment. We're talking about moving beyond just basic security and building a modern, truly robust defense.
So many organizations are still running on the security model you see on the left. It's like a crumbling castle with all the doors and windows wide open. The standard today, where you need to be, is the model on the right. Zero trust. And it's not just some buzzword. It's a total mindset shift that basically assumes nobody and no device can be trusted by default.
So how do you get there? Well, here are the absolute non-negotiables. You have to enforce multi-factor authentication for everyone, not just a few admins. Use conditional access policies to automatically block sketchy sign-ins. You know, like when someone tries to log in from 2 different continents in 5 minutes. You should also require devices to be managed and compliant in Microsoft Intune before they can touch sensitive data. And for personal devices, limit them to browser-only access. You do these things and your attack surface shrinks like instantly.
And here's the best part. You're probably already paying for the tools to do this. If you have Defender licenses, you gotta use them. Turn on safe links to scan URLs. Use safe attachments to basically blow up files in a safe sandbox before they hit your users. Run phishing simulations to train your team. And please, enable tamper protection. All this stuff is just sitting there waiting for you to flip the switch.
Okay, so we've shored up the defenses. Now let's switch from defense to offense. Section 3, reclaiming your team's time. This is all about using the tools you already have to kill off repetitive tasks and actually boost productivity.
This right here, this is how you start giving time back to your team. It's a super simple workflow in Power Automate. An email with invoice and the subject comes in, the attachment automatically gets saved to the right SharePoint folder, it gets tagged, and the right people get a ping in Teams. Just think about any task you do 10 times a month that follows a simple pattern. It probably shouldn't be a manual job anymore. The next big productivity killer? Messy files. On the left is the digital dumping ground I see in most places. On the right is a structured, optimized setup. Instead of having folders inside of folders inside of folders, information is organized with tags, like client or project status, which makes search actually work. You combine that with automatic retention policies and files on demand, and suddenly you have a system that's clean, efficient, and people can actually find stuff in.
And then you've got Microsoft Teams. It can either be notification hell or a true productivity hub. To make it a hub, you have to be intentional. Audit and archive all those dead teams.
Use templates for new projects so they launch with the right channels and apps already pinned. And please, use shared channels when you're working with people outside your company to keep things clean. The goal is to make Teams a real workspace, not just another noisy chat app.
All right, that brings us to our final and maybe most crucial stage, moving from chaos to clarity. See, optimization isn't a one-and-done project. It's about putting governance and visibility in place so you can keep getting better.
This is the governance layer that makes everything work. First, get clear naming conventions for everything. Second, use sensitivity labels to classify your data so the system knows what's public versus what's top secret and can protect it. And third, set up data loss prevention, or DLP, to automatically stop someone from accidentally emailing out a spreadsheet full of credit card numbers.
Once you have that governance, you can finally ask the most important question of all. And it's a question that most organizations, honestly, they can't answer. Is our investment in Microsoft 365 getting better, getting worse, or just getting more expensive?
And the answer lies in the data. You need a simple dashboard, a single pane of glass that tracks the most important health metrics over time. Are your license costs trending down? Is your security score trending up? Are people actually using the tools you're paying for? When you can measure it, you can manage it. This is how you stop guessing and start making smart, data-driven decisions.
You know, clarity also comes from using modern tools to make old processes just disappear. For instance, with Windows Autopilot, IT can ship a new laptop directly to an employee and it sets itself up, zero touch. Inside your apps, you can use Loop components for real-time collaboration on a list right inside an email. And with AI, don't just play with Copilot, give it a real job. Tell it to summarize that 20-page document or turn a meeting transcript into an action list. That's when AI starts to have a real return on investment.
So, that's the final question I want to leave you with. After you've looked at your licenses, your security, your productivity, and your governance, what's the verdict? Is your Microsoft 365 environment a powerful tool that's actually driving growth and efficiency? Or is it just another expensive utility bill you have to pay every single month? The choice, really,